What's up, guys? Matthew here, getting ready to watch the 40th episode of Monster. Last we saw, I feel like that was the end of the, from what people have said in the comments, the Munich arc. I feel like we're on to the next stage, so to speak. I feel like we've had a shake up. Um, Tenma is now on his way, I would assume, to track down Johann and Anna's mother. Speaking of Anna, Anna is with Dieter. Dieter has latched on, so to speak. He doesn't have his true papa near him, so he's got to latch on to the closest person. To try and get his way back, maybe. And then I'm hoping that my man, my boy Heckle, now meets up with Anna and Dieter. I like Heckle and Tenma, but the comedic duo of Heckle and Dieter is much better in my opinion. Um, Interested to see where Johann is, if he's I don't know, because he hasn't had a. I didn't even like really mention this part. Um, in last episode or the episode before that, but their mother is alive. Like that really hadn't locked into my head yet. But they've been passed around through foster families so much and been on their own, wandering through what the wilderness by themselves. Um, so I'm interested to see if it is a sort of abusive mother situation, or if it's an abusive father and she was sort of taken away from the kids, or something like that. I don't know if the mother has any care in her heart for her children. Um, I'm interested to see that. Lunge, it looks like Lunge might have had a breakthrough. Maybe now sort of maybe considering um Johann to be an actual entity. Um, but we will see. We will see. I'm rooting for him so hard. And I'm rooting for him so that Tenma can be proven innocent. If that makes sense, because I would want Tenma to live his best life. Um, I feel like that's the only other characters that I wanted to mention real quick. Um, Reichwein and Gillen, I would assume that they're going to take a step back for a little bit. Or well, they'll still be recurring, just not like every episode like they have been. But I could see a world in which they try to track down Anna and Dater. Or even split off and go find Temma because they know that's where they're heading. I don't know. It's this whole show is some big circle where we're all trying to find each other over the country of Germany. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited to hop into this episode. If you guys like the video, drop a like, leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. I've got the full length reaction up on Patreon. If that's something you're interested in, I'd appreciate it if you checked it out. And if you guys like the content on the channel, please subscribe. Let's get right into the episode. Bunch of bullies? What's going on here? I don't like seeing children in this show anymore, other than Dieter. I can close every time I close my eyes. I just picture a kid flinging themselves off the roof. Grimmer is a badass name, I must say.
この学園の体制もすっかり変わり、以前の資料はそれだけなんです。いやー、お手数かけてすみません、アルブレヒト院長。これだけでも。
Oh man. Yep, this is a new arc. I gotta write down all these goddamn names.
ベルリンの壁崩壊前後、旧東ドイツのヤ
Is
バい。
this like a child psychologist, a teacher, a
ただ、
reporter, maybe?
旧東ドイツの孤児院で、児童の虐待があったことだけは確かなんです。しかし、それを立証する資料はなかなか発見できないんですよね。
Is he investigating?
しょうな。旧東ドイツの孤児
The
院は
orphanages?
通常厚生省の管轄だったんですがね。問題なのは
That's another thing I haven't really thought of. How high does this go up? Like, are we talking like big government officials are connected to these orphanages?
悪名高い内務省管轄のキンダーハイムがあったということです。
Yeah.
その特別孤児院の中でどれほどの虐待
Oh, I like this guy already, man.
不強制が行われていたのか。それをで
I
き
feel like this is one of those characters that's trying to dig at the truth no matter what, no matter the consequence.
られていたかを徹底的にね。徹底的にか。なるほど、それは大変な調査だ。
Gonna make a lot of enemies doing that.
口を閉ざしているんでしょう。
そうなんですよ。こちらの養護教員のシュヌーアさんもね。
Schnur.
シュヌーア先生。
彼は旧東ドイツの62近
62 Kinderheim. How many Kinderheims were there? I forget if that was information that was given to me.
シュヌーア先生は旧東ドイツ時代児童を虐待していた可能性が。
Grimmer looks kind of badass.
この資料コピー取らせていただいてよろしいですか。
どうぞ。グリマーさん、あなたもちろん旧西側出身のジャーナリストですよね。
ええ、私はこっち側、ライプチヒの新聞の記者でした。
あなたみたいな人権派が。
I really do. I've asked it a couple times and no one's really responded. I don't blame anyone, but I don't know that much of the history around like East and West Germany, and like the Berlin Wall and all that. So maybe that's something that I feel like if I knew that information, it would bring another sort of.
スパイですよ。
Oh, he's a spy. I feel like if I knew the historical information around this time period, I feel like I would know a little more. I would be more comfortable with thinking about theories and all that.
記事期待してますよ。で、これからどちら？
I don't trust
プラハです。
that guy for some reason. Is it Galbrecht or is that someone else? Oh yeah, it is Galbrecht. I just kind of got weird vibes from Galbrecht when he was talking about all stones unturned. I feel like that could be a situation where he knows something and he doesn't want his friend or someone to dig deeper into that.
結局靴取られちまったのか。もうなくなって。
No, they're gonna make me fall in love again and they're gonna rip him away from me.
人間靴なんかなくたって生きていける。もともと裸足で生まれてきたんだから。ただ人の靴を取っていじめるようなやつは。
Oh man, I already fucking love him, dude. Is this the?
ことはない。じゃあな。
I'm pretty sure it was I'm pretty sure it was Diemtree who said this in the comments. But I asked who the most beloved side character was, and was it Richard? And someone said that it was actually someone else. Just from the first couple minutes with this gentleman, I could definitely see a world where it's this guy. Damn, is he already gonna interact with Tenma?
実はちょっと困ったことにパスポートの入ったバッグを盗まれてしまいまして。
パスポート、そりゃ困りましたね。
はあ、そうなんです。ウィーンの妹に。
Oh, this is a scam, man. I wonder what kind of character is, if he's someone who falls for the scam or if he's someone who sees right through it immediately.
折れた。早く言ってあげなきゃいけない。
Because he seems very like good and pure. But you can be good and pure and then also be smart.
実は妹、今医者にかかる金がなくて。
なんてことだ。
実は取られたバッグに財布も入っていたんです。私。
Okay, I think he's on to it.
送ってやれれば妹は助かるんです。でもそれすらできなくなって。
いくら必要ですか？
Is he?
そんな別に大きいお金は必要ないんです。とりあえず病院に運んで見てもらうだけのお金さえあれば。
これぐらいしか出せませんけど。
ありがとう、ダンケシェン。必ずお金はお返しします。ここにあなたのお住所を書いてください。
いや、いいですよ。それで妹さんが元気になるなら。
Scam. Maybe I'm just a bad human.
あんなのに金出しちまって。あんなの嘘に決まってんだろう。
嘘？
連中はいつもああして駅前でカモを待ってんだよ。ダメだよ、あんなのに騙されちゃう。
騙された。
Oh man, he's so pure that he doesn't even understand simple manipulation. That might lead to a problem. Dude, turn your body. Tenma. I can sense his goodness aura.
どうも助かりました。ありがとう。いえ。
Oh, these guys are gonna be best fucking buddies, dude. Dude, it was like 2 minutes ago. Oh, 30 seconds ago. Oh man, best buds meeting for the first time. Well, he's no. Heckle's the number one. Okay. It's been like, has it been like almost 20 episodes since we saw Heckle? At least 15. Damn, got some Squidward ass music in the background too. I'm loving it.
この人ですよね。こんにちは。どうも。日本行ったことあるんですよ。
Oh, I fucking love him already. He better not die.
かな。1982年だから、あ、そうそう。秋葉原に行きましたよ。盗聴器とかハイテク機材をたくさん仕入れたっけな。それとこんな歌が流行ってたな。北の。
Oh, he's so innocent and good. But I feel like there could be that sort of side that is actually smarter that he's putting on. He's like Tenma, man. Aww. I could. He's so happy and good. I feel like he has a darker past.
出国審査です。パスポートを拝見します。はい。
This is a trap.
ダンケシェーン。
Is he gonna report to someone? Uh-oh.
エルベ川。今年のマスの超過はどうかな。
あまり良くないね。
あ、そう。僕は去年これぐらいの釣りましたよ。
今年は無理だな。
He's about to go report to someone. To who? I don't know. Whether it's a police officer or to Johan's goons is yet to be seen.
バレてますよ。その偽造パスポート。
I told you, man. There's a semblance of like ulterior motives.
ドクターテンマ。なぜ私のことを？そんなことより国境。
Oh, he must have real research done into Kinderheim. He must know about Johan and all that.
あれ？おい君、そこを通りたいんだがな。
ああ、すみません。荷物が大きくて引っかかっちゃって。
Turn it!
だから何やってるんだ。
ああ、そんなに乱暴にしないでください。
一体何が入ってるんだね。
Did he smuggle Tenma in the bag? I was gonna say. Like, the easy solution is that he just left, but people are gonna be laughing at me, man. What the fuck do you mean he smuggled Tenma in the bag? I don't know. You think he jumped out, but he's actually hiding somewhere, maybe on top of the train. Never mind. Damn, he running. Straight in the wilderness. This is such an interesting figure. He feels so lighthearted and free-spirited, but also he's investigating something so dark and... Oh, is his son somehow connected to Kinderheim? And that's why he's investigating it?
この辺り詳しいんですよ。よく釣りに来るもんでね。ちょっと山登りはきついけど、それに見合っ
I
た。
love how smart most of the characters are in this show. But like realistic smart.
助けてくれるんです。
ああ、私、旧東ドイツ時代、新聞社に勤めてたんですよ。今はフリーランスのジャーナリストですけど、あなたの記事、片っ端から読みました。興味があったもんでね。旧東ドイツでは、冤罪なんて日常茶飯事でした。この政治犯は濡れ衣、この殺人犯も無実。なで、本当の犯罪者と冤罪の人間との見分けが大体つくようになってしまった。あなたは無実だ。そうでしょ、天馬先生。
先生と呼ぶのはやめてくれませ
Man,
んか。
stop it. You're a doctor.
だってあなた優秀な脳外科医なんでしょ、ドクター天馬。
私はもう医者じゃない。
Oh, I love their relationship already. I hope this isn't till the end of the show sort of thing. But alas, Grimmer is such a good fucking guy. He's gonna get murdered.
そうです。いい眺めでしょう。ここならどっちからを
Get murdered, and Tenma will have to investigate Kinderheim and publish it on his behalf.
私はあなたみ
And
たい
the
な
character
医者を
designs
尊
are
敬し
so
ますよ。
memorable.
私みたいなジャーナリストでもいい記事を書けば人に生きる喜びを与えられるかもしれない。でもあなたは人々に命そのものを与えること。
私は人を撃った。
It's an evil son of a bitch, Tenma. Don't tell me that that's weighing on you so hard.
先月ミュンヘンで初めて人を撃った。おそらく彼は死んだ。
He ain't dead. That's the fucking Terminator. That's okay.
では手が震えて狙いも定められなかった。でも一度撃ったら手の震えが止まったんだ。そして私はこれからまたもう一人撃たなければならない。
No, stop. Stop going down this path. And why the hell are they in the most beautiful scenery of all time? That's the dream to live in a little village like that.
エルベ川に釣りに来るたびに私は思うんです。うちの子にもここで釣りをさせてやりたかったってね。
What happened?
息子さん、
こんな大きいマスが釣れるんですよ。あの子は釣りの楽しみも知らずに死んでしま
Did he die as a child, or not as a child, like a toddler, baby,
った。
infant?
あの子の命は助かって。いや、ほんと、こんな大きいマスが釣れるんですよ。
I hate how much I love him because he's not gonna survive. This show has just trained me to always think pessimistically about all this.
川を越えればチェコの国境です。そこを越えて林道に出たら車を拾えるかもしれない。私はここらで駅に引き返します。
ありがとう。本当に助かりました、グリマーさん。
We'll meet up again.
ドクター天馬。じゃあ、
Share some information. He knows about Kinderheim.
ドクター天馬。誰だっていろんな罪を背負ってる。その罪は消えない。でも、やらなきゃいけないことがある。
Man, this man is the goat. He drops words of wisdom, leaves without explaining. About to say, anytime this show cuts to black, I just think the episode's about to immediately end and I'm gonna get pissed off.
美しいや。初めて来たけど、夜のプラハの街ってまるでおとぎの国みたいだ。
Don't say that. You're scaring me. Don't say Fairy Tale Land. Are they gonna immediately meet up again, or?
ここいいですか？
ああ。
すっかり気に入っちゃいましたよ。
I don't trust this motherfucker.
ペトロフさんでしょ。
Petrov.
今はロシア国籍を買ってこのチェコに住んでらっしゃる。ちょっと伺いたいことがありまして、ご協力願いませんか、ペトロフさん。
Worked for Kinderheim.
本名はラインハルト・ビ
Okay.
ーアマンさん。
Screw Bierman.
東ベルリ
Scratch off that
ン
name.
に特別な孤児院があったでしょう。少年たち
Oh,
に
this man-
科学的な人格矯正を行っていた
He's a bad at chemically induced brainwashing.
あなたはそこの院長だった。
Director. The top dog?
あなたなら全てを知っているはずだ。
He's got a death wish, man. He is gonna get himself killed talking like this out in the open.
しようとしていたんですか。旧東ベルリンの
He's got balls, though.
511キンダーハイムで。
What's this weird sharding sound? Don't you dare. Asshole! Okay, guys, that was the 40th episode of Monster. We're in the 4-0 now, okay? And we've already been introduced to a phenomenal character. Grimmer. Which is, first of all, to start off with, a badass name. But second of all, already an all-time... I don't want to say all-time great character in terms of like one of my top 20 favorite characters in the history of TV, but just from a first episode standpoint, especially in anime, he has left his mark. This show is so good at that, because this show is so dark. Like, you really think about it, like one of the major like points of it is like child abuse and child brainwashing and genocide and, you know what I mean, mass murder and all that stuff. But yet it's able to keep a perfect balance with like pure good characters. I've Tenma, Richard, and just from what I've seen from Grimmer so far, from Dieter, from Anna so far, from Requine, like, it's hard to do. It's really hard to do, to be able to occupy both sides of that. I mean, I feel like people make fun of certain pieces of media that are like either, they're supposed to be lighthearted and happy and goofy, but it's all lighthearted and goofy. There's no seriousness about it, or something is so serious, there's no like lighthearted moments. In order to make something really good, there has to be a mix of multiple different genres, multiple different storylines, all that. So being able to see that done perfectly, being able to sort of cancel out to the darkness with such pure good characters that you can root for. It's hard. Well, I don't even want to say that, because it's actually pretty easy to make an audience root for someone, but for some reason it's not done that often. I'm not saying like I'm some sort of grade A, historical writer or anything like that. But just from a viewer's perspective, I feel like it's pretty easy to make me want to root for someone, or make me care for someone, or make me feel for someone. Yet Monster is probably the show that makes me do it the fastest out of any show I've ever watched. I want to give it its props in that aspect. I mean, because obviously I talk about every episode the stuff like the animation and the music, which is 10 out of 10, and obviously the story, but I think what really sets this apart from everything else, from every other show like it that I've ever watched, from every other anime, is just the deep care for the characters. Like at all levels. Like, obviously I said it last episode, I've said it throughout the show. Not only does this have an all-time great protagonist, not only does it have an all-time great antagonist, okay, the villain of the show is legendary and iconic and perfect, but every single character in between not only plays their role perfectly, but care for all of them, and even if I don't care for them as in they're a bad person, I want to know more about them, and I can be taught to understand why they're doing what they're doing. For all characters, I feel, and I feel like right now, other than Johan, whom is the big mystery, whom's motives and origin story will be one of the last things revealed before the end of the show. A character like Roberto, I feel so far has been portrayed as the most, I don't want to say the most pure evil, because obviously Johan has done some atrocious shit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to explain it in good words, but just like blank slate black, if that makes sense. You know, on a white, gray, black scale, just moral wise, I feel like he just is following a monster for no reason, or for entertainment or anything like that. I wonder if we're going to get a more fleshed out backstory around him. I want to. It's crazy how at some point they're going to weave all these characters back together. I wonder how a character like Effa is going to come back into play. I mean, obviously it's going to be Tenma related, but I don't think it's going to be Tenma walking down the street, Eva pops up, and she's teaming up with Tenma for another 3 episodes. I feel like there's going to be a reason why she's back. Not just a character study of herself or Tenma, but like a plot reason why she needs to be there, if that makes sense. Man, I feel like with like the main mystery behind Johan, you know, it's hard to really like start from the beginning and grapple the whole story. I feel like we need to sort of group it together into certain parts and then really focus on that. And I feel like this little storyline we're about to go on, this arc, and specifically the character of Grimmer and his motivations, or what's going to sort of flesh out the Kinderheim part. Because it's so confusing. Because obviously, the people at Kinderheim found Johan and Anna. Well, again, I don't know if I missed shit, or like, not as in like I wasn't paying attention, but like I just didn't connect to this sentence with this sentence. Did the people from Kinderheim find both of them and then sent Anna away and only took on Johan because he was special, or because he was fit for what they wanted to do? Or were they already separated by the time the Kinderheim people got a hold of them? That is a question that I don't recall if I know, honestly. So I definitely got to find out that answer. I got to find out all this shit. I mean, I feel like that's the... I've seen people fall into this mistake, especially with something like my favorite show of all time, Lost. For those of you who haven't seen Lost but have heard something about it, you probably heard that it has a bad ending. As a fanboy of Lost, so maybe, you know, you might think I'm biased, but the ending of Lost is fantastic. You know what I mean? The entirety of the show of Lost is fantastic for me. And I feel like the main reason that people hate on Lost is because they sort of lose track of what's important. Lost, like Monster, has a lot of mystery involved, has a lot of unanswered questions. It's like a mystery box, even more of a mystery box than Monster. There is a lot of unanswered stuff in it that the whole point of the season is to try to, you know, answer that. But by the end of the show, the creators had sort of made up so many mysteries, unanswered questions, and all that. They realized that, well, if we're gonna answer these in a 100% way, it wouldn't be entertaining. And not only would it not be entertaining, but it wouldn't do justice for the characters. And the characters are always the most important part of a story. So they focused on the characters, and they gave 90% of the characters fantastic arcs. They gave them fantastic endings, and they were overall fantastic throughout the entirety of the show. So I don't want to fall into that trap that I criticize other people for falling into with Lost, with Monster. Because there is a large part of me that wants to crack down on the theory, on mysteries, and find all the unanswered questions. You know what I mean? Answer stuff that I have, you know, inkling there about. I want to do all that, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to go crazy over them. I'm not going to obsess over them. because the most important thing that I would like to do with this show is to focus on the characters and take in the arcs and take in some of the most well-crafted characters I've seen in anime. And then obviously this is one of those shows I'm definitely going to rewatch. On my second watch of it, that's when I'll probably focus in on connecting every single little dot that I missed upon my first watch. Not saying that I'm not going to try to solve anything, but I'm just saying my main focus, instead of going crazy over answers, is to love and enjoy these characters and enjoy the journey. Because that's another thing. I'm not saying this as in like in case this ending is bad, because I've never heard of the ending of this anime being bad. But for me, when it comes to fiction, the journey, and people always make fun of it, and it's cliche saying, but the journey is more important than the end, than the destination. And even for me, obviously it isn't like that for everything, but my favorite genre is mystery. And there is a part of me that a big part of me that believes that even if the answer to the mystery isn't filling, isn't good, if the mystery like really captivated you and led you on an amazing journey the entire time, it's still worth it. So that's all I'm saying. I'm focusing on this journey right here, and I'm gonna crack a couple theories, and I'm gonna try to solve this. I'm gonna try to solve that, but I'm not gonna obsess over it. I promise. Okay. But that's gonna be it for this episode. I've yapped for long enough. If you guys like the video, leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. I've got the full-length uncut reaction up on Patreon. I'm probably a couple episodes ahead, if you're interested in checking that out. I probably have the exact episode I'm on in the description if you're interested. But if you guys like the content on the channel, I'd appreciate it if you also subscribed. I will see you guys next time for Monster.